Good morning. So for the last few weeks, we've looked at responding to God through prayer. Talked about prayer of thanksgiving. God gives to us, we acknowledge the gift, and we say thank you. Then we looked at how we respond to God when it feels like we're failing in prayer, as if it seems that God is not listening to us or ignoring us. God may seem silent, prayer may not seem to be making any difference, but that's precisely when we need to persevere in prayer. Then we looked at how to become more effective at prayer. We learned that our prayer is not based on our performance, but on our heart. Effective prayer puts us in a right relationship with God and is made with a humble heart. Last week, we switched to our responsibility with money. God puts money in our hands. We're merely stewards of money. How we respond to that, what he gives us, greatly impacts our faith. Today, we're moving forward to address a problem in our thinking that can give us difficulty in our relationship with God. This concept is played out in the gospel reading that we just heard. Jesus is entering into Jerusalem during his last days on earth. The religious leaders have grown jealous of him and are working to discredit him. So great is their jealousy that factions who usually fight against each other join forces to try to bring him down. One of these groups is the Sadducees. They were political and religious leaders made up of the aristocracy and the merchant class. They were prospering under Roman rule. They stood in stark contrast with the Pharisees. They denied the resurrection of the dead. The Sadducees saw Jesus as a threat to the status quo. So the Sadducees, we hear, pose this question. Moses wrote for us, if someone's brother dies, leaving a wife but no child, his brother must take the wife and raise up descendants for his brother. There were 7 brothers. The first married a woman but died childless. The second, third, and likewise all 7 died childless. Finally, the woman died. Now at the resurrection, whose wife will that woman be? For all 7 had been married to her. The question was a trap, intended to make the belief in the resurrection appear ridiculous. Jesus answered, the children of this age marry and are remarried. But those who are deemed worthy to attain the coming age and to the resurrection of the dead neither marry nor are given in marriage. Marriage doesn't exist in heaven. Only love remains. Jesus says that in heaven there's no more death, no more crying, no more pain. Jesus is clear that heaven is real. Everything that gives you joy, makes you happy, everything that is good and true and beautiful that you experience on this earth is a mere taste of the joy of heaven. Every one of us longs for something more. We long to know that this world is not all that there is. Just as a baby longs for food, and there really is food, and as we thirst, there really is water to quench our thirst. Our longing for joy that doesn't end springs from the reality of heaven. Now, what we do impacts our eternal destiny. There is a heaven, and I want to be there. How we live our lives in this very temporary life impacts eternity, which lasts forever, including and especially how we respond to what God has given us. when we get to heaven through the person of Jesus Christ and what he did for us on the cross. We don't earn our way there. We can't buy our way there. Yet what we do now impacts eternity. As we grow more and more as a disciple, we want to live our lives in the light of eternity. That should be reflected in every area of our lives, including our money and our finances. Jesus tells us, sell your possessions and give alms. Provide yourselves with purses that do not grow old, with treasure in heaven that does not fail, where no thief approaches and no moth destroys. For where your treasure is, there your heart will also be. So Jesus says, give so that you're altruistic and philanthropic and for the betterment of humankind? No, he doesn't. Give because the needs are so great and the causes are so urgent? No, he doesn't. Give because the money is really, really needed? Nope. Give because it will relieve you of guilt and you won't go to hell? Nope. He just appeals to our own basic self-interest. He says to give your money so that you build up treasure for yourself in heaven. Giving to the poor and giving to the advancement of God's kingdom acknowledges that his kingdom is your true home, where you will find true riches. Like food and water, like heaven, we long for treasure. That's because that's how God designed us and shaped us. He wants us to desire this treasure and he wants us to have it. But our lasting treasure isn't in our home, our real estate, or our retirement fund. They're all important for sure, but they're not permanent. One day, they'll all be gone. When we give to build God's kingdom, when we give to the poor, we invest in what is eternal. We store up treasure in heaven. And this heaven is real. And this heaven begins the moment you and I submit to the reality that it all belongs to God, and giving is better for us than it is for the recipient. We give them something temporary, freedom from hunger, but we receive something eternal. We're designed to give. So invest in God's kingdom because it's the right thing to do. It's noble and selfless. And even if those things don't motivate us, invest in God's kingdom because it's a strategic investment in your lasting best interest. Since life is short and eternity is long, since what you have now you cannot keep, and what you have there you cannot lose, doesn't it make sense to invest in heaven?
Hello, my name is Tim McAllis, and today I would like to share with you about financial stewardship here at St. Peter.
Hello, my name is Ivana Bertizelli, and I support the mission and the ministry here at St. Peter through our offertory gifts.
In the upcoming days, you will be receiving a letter from Father Don asking for your participation in our increased offertory appeal. As we hear at Mass, our financial stewardship is part of the way we invest in God's work here on earth. We support the mission and ministry of the church to form disciples and then to go out and make disciples.
Stewardship is a calling. Stewardship is a planned, proportionate sharing of our time, talent, and treasures. It is a grateful response to God's generosity to us for all the many blessings He has provided. Yes, the church needs money. FP&L unfortunately does not donate their electricity. The landscapers have to get paid to cut the grass, and the facilities need maintenance. But more importantly, our ministries reach out to many in our community, both directly and indirectly.
Some of the ways St. Peter has influenced me and my family on my faith walk is through the many ministries that we have been a part of over the years. I have participated as a member of the Stewardship Committee, as a lector, and I currently support the usher ministry. My wife, Mary, volunteers after the 9:30 Mass at the gift shop. Both our children received their confirmation here at St. Peter, and our son and new daughter-in-law recently went through the marriage program. We have benefited in many ways by being part of this church family.
Over the years, I have had opportunities seeing firsthand the beautiful and benefits of our St. Peter's ministries. Volunteering as a greeter, working in the kitchen crew, helping with the picnics, and then assisting with engaged couples as they prepare themselves for the sacrament of matrimony. And I have learned that I get so much more satisfaction in giving than in receiving.
At the end of each Mass, when we all say, "Don't just go to church, be the church," that has a lot of meaning for me. It makes me take a really hard look at who I am and what I'm doing to be the church. Regarding financial stewardship, my wife and I decided together to financially support St. Peter as much as possible, since we have been abundantly blessed and are able to make that kind of sacrifice. This has not been as easy as it sounds, but fortunately, my wife and I have always strived to live below our means and have the breathing room to make it work. We also know the good things that will come of that money for those that need it most. St. Peter is a wonderful family church, and we have made a number of good friends here. We hope that you have shared similar experiences and find St. Peter to be as much a part of your life as we do.
Pope Francis said it best. Please, don't be observers of life, but get involved. Jesus did not remain an observer. He immersed himself. Immerse yourself in the reality of life as Jesus did. These words are so powerful. I encourage you all to get involved. Give of yourself to St. Peter, its ministries, and to others, as Jesus so willingly and graciously gave of himself to us. When it comes to the offertory, every little bit helps, and together we can make a difference.
I would encourage all of you to look through the materials you will receive in the mail and then prayerfully reflect how you and your family can commit to support our offertory throughout the upcoming year. Please bring your commitment card to Mass next weekend. We will be collecting the cards as a sign of our commitment to be good stewards of our finances and our call to be missionary disciples.
Your gift changes the lives for the better as we share the good news to our community here in Jupiter and beyond.
Thank you, and God bless.